Hi again. So this is part 2 of our labour and delivery story, and I want to talk a bit about the build up to going into labour. So it's hard to say exactly when my labour started. I know when my active labour started, but when my labour started, I couldn't, pinpoint a day, let alone an actual sort of time that it happened. I finished up work 4 weeks before my due date. 2 weeks of maternity leave and then 2 weeks of annual leave. So I finished at the start of the month and she was due at the end of the month. So it's back in February. And even in my last few shifts at work, I started to notice I was getting lots of twinges and cramps and things like that. So I thought, oh, this is really good. I think she's going to come nice and early. And I was happy for her to come a bit early because she was full term already at that point. And, well, no, she would have been a week off full term at that point. I would have been 36 weeks when I finished. And she was measuring 1 week ahead. And her due date was based on my dating scan. I had at 12 weeks, rather than sort of my individual cycle. So they said to me, it can be a bit off, like, because people ovulate at different points, not everybody cycles 28 days, things like that. But I was pretty sure how pregnant I was, because I was using like ovulation sticks and like an app to track my cycle and things. So I was pretty sure I was, 1 week ahead anyway. And then once it did get to like measuring my belly, she was measuring 1 week ahead the whole way. So I was quite happy for her to be a little bit early because I thought she's going to be absolutely fine. And as I said, I didn't enjoy being pregnant at all. So I was really looking forward to just having her here safely so I could give her a cuddle and move on with our life together. But she didn't. She didn't come early. She was nowhere near coming at that point when I was getting those cramps. So I suppose her due date eventually came. It felt like it took forever, but eventually I found her due date was here. On the actual day, I tried to keep as distracted as I could, because I was just waiting to have a baby at that point, which is the strangest like limbo to live in. Because it's like waiting for something amazing and exciting, but also horrifying at the same time. Because I was really scared about giving birth. It was kind of like I didn't want to do anything or like go too far anywhere or be on my own too much, because it's like I could go into labour and have the baby, and that's really scary. But I tried to stay distracted as I could on my actual due date. So I went for a nice long walk and things like that. I'd been trying to do as much walking as I could to try and get labour going. I'd bought one of those bouncing balls and was bouncing up and down on it every evening to try and get labour going. Did all the things. I even ate pineapple and stuff like that. I was trying like nipple stimulation as well to try and make her arrive. I have to say that's not recommended for most people because it can be quite effective, especially if you're not actually at full term. So I'm not saying, if you're sitting there waiting to go into labour, like, on you go. But yeah, I was trying as many things as I could think of, really, to try and have my little one be here with me. But it didn't happen. So at my appointment, my 40-week appointment with a midwife, she said that the appointment afterwards, if I hadn't had my baby by 41 weeks, they could offer a membrane sweep. So I was to go away and read up about it and decide if that's what I wanted. And she started measuring smaller as well, which they said was a positive sign that she was in position. So I was like, great, okay. Hopefully, she might come soon. But she didn't. I got to 41 weeks. A lot happened between 40 weeks and 41 weeks. It didn't feel like a lot at the time, but when I think back, quite a lot happened. So I'd certainly say I was in labour for like most of that week, but not active labour. So on the Tuesday, I had my show, or at least I thought I had my show. Um,